Number 15, King Kong Bundy. He looks like a gigantic thumb, but he managed to main event WrestleMania against Hulk Hogan, and you know what? That's fair enough. That's bloody fair enough. Number 14, Mick Foley. Part of Mick Foley's charm was his man of the people schlubby relatability. Written into the gimmick was the fact that one of the toughest sons of the bitches on the roster also looked like he just woke up underneath someone's caravan after eating a whole dog. Number 13, the one-man gang, or to give him his more offensive name, Akeem the African Dream. Oh dear. Akeem, who was obviously from South Carolina and not Africa, was a large fella, and they decided to emphasize this fact by either having him wear yellow muumuus everywhere or the skinniest of skin-tight lycra. So many different bumps. Number 12, Kamala. He would slap the moon on his belly would wobble, and he would make funny noises. Fun fact, Kamala also once wrestled Daniel Bryan for the Ring of Honor World Championship. Now isn't that just the weirdest piece of information? Number 11, Andre the Giant. Okay, so yes, Andre the Giant was one of the most beloved men in the history of the industry, but then he would also occasionally drink over 100 beers in a single sitting. I'm not lying about that, look that up. This is what a beer looks like in Andre's hand. Anyway, that little achievement also had the effect of making him massive in more ways than one. Number 10, Tommy Dreamer. Tommy's generous figure won him more fans than nearly anyone else in ECW history. Also, he would perform in segments on Raw where he'd eat disgusting things, like a cup of The Undertaker's chewing tobacco, which is probably up there in terms of calories. Number 9, Colin Delaney. Well, to be fair to Mr. Delaney, the whole point of his character was he was a perennial jobber who could only pick up a victory when the planets aligned, but there's no arguing that his body has less definition than a burnt dictionary. That joke made sense in my head. Number 8, Trevor Murdoch. Here's a man you can imagine biting a leg straight off a pig. Trevor Murdoch, with his partner Lance Cage, was a deep-fried country boy who was the living embodiment of what would happen if a scowl gained sentience. He was all gut and no pecs. Number 7, Yokozuna. Talk about turning mass into an asset. The Japanese superstar, who was of course Samoan, WWE, had a build weight of 589 pounds. Now, while Vince has been known to exaggerate on occasion, Yokozuna really was that big. His gargantuan size led him to be the only man in history who can say they beat both Bret Hart and Hulk Hogan for the WWE Championship. Number 6, Rikishi. Speaking of bodacious Samoans, Rikishi made thousands of dollars by having a huge bum. On his wrestling resume, under skills, he just puts the word ass, in brackets, all about that, close brackets. He would rub his large bum in people's faces and everyone would cheer. What would aliens make of us as a species? As much as Rikishi's weight brought him success, his inability to drop pounds when requested resulted in him being fired from the WWE in 2004. Number 5, the Blue Meanie. Just look at him. Number 4, Spike Dudley. Spike Dudley weighs about as much as a photograph of Spike Dudley, but seriously, thank God for people like him. When I was a teenager and a strong breeze could blow me over, the fact that guys like Spike were making a living wrestling made him my absolute hero. Number 3, Bastion Booger. Number 2, Big Daddy V. Whoever made him wear those straps over his boobs is a monster, a force for evil in this world. The world's largest love machine, who resembled a huge demonic cushion later in his career, actually made a few small piles of money for being big and landing on people. Again, it's not an art form, but if it pays, who the hell am I to argue? And number 1, Big Dick Johnson. Christopher DeJoseph is currently co-executive producer of Lucha Underground and head of creative. Cool. He also used to be Big Dick Johnson. Here is a video of him doing something to the